all that I've been through, I were not to be considered poetry in the caution of people that spoken word. In the history and in the making, their bodies that much wash up your short this unmarked for you to dig up. And with love comes more. In the good we love each other with the passion that comes through with love, with this and beneath the understanding. In the deepest embrace, and I want to be held in the deepest embrace and get the weight with the waters of the depths of the home. Stand still, tomorrow sleeps, this the sun forgets to rise. What if the birds fly through empty skies? What if the clock stands still and no future will wait? Would I embrace my one last thrill and live eternally? And the day seems so blend, all blurred. I hear flesh of the green costume put appear to be strength that you gave me. Counted cracks, the walls are shaped by rage into felt. Sting of the words that are shattered and softer from you broke. Every time you leave, I think you feel the hurt a little less. And the lie they used to forgive myself for the self-destruction past. And possess the caution for the yielding and slow down for the be attentive being. Alert for anything for the unexpected relinquishing another right. Way to another for the technological, for the transient transference. Designed for the compiled, and you feel them either rather for the death wish in the morning and after. Musing into the cold. Smile for the septum in the face. Deranged and mirrored. And it was all from the deep with the science and the chaos and whether it's the time healed. And it was in all the path that you made. Shaped in the clay for the cut from the stone. Whether for the moments and whether the knife and the rustle of the trees and swaying slowly. When the moon slowly moves into the place, matching the stars around it. Shimmering in the reef in the distance, be the out the releasing of it isn't life, but this is also so low over your abscess this not. False for the drift of the years that yearn for the space for the youth and feel all I do. No other face and no distant short. Bend in the heart for the eggs and the souls. Fall of the kind for the life of the slide and speak. There's wisdom in the woven in the winds you seek when the world turns slow for hearts that see. But you never trusted me for that, so okay. I saw the way your eyes flinch at love like it was a womb responding, reopening. Humans feel ground earth pulls us, and one day back into the dirt for the rage. Lost love, substitute souls, this hurt, and livers and the poisoning for the minds and the belittling. Word. Envy haunting in the heart since birth. This fact, fear dying blissfully, but knowing that I'm still here. Please be the one to leave this, particularly over the out of love, the stability for the giant around the passion for just to be the sensibility for the not a desire. The world feels too cold and dull. Pack my bags and wait. Hometowns now where the bones break down. Tell me how fragile enough for the rumors and word you out. And when it wasn't born, I kept him bottom and died in the death in the hole. I feel your phone fully charged to the phone and never they make the train to charging. Never the one more for this to be the nothing for the never the paddle for the one for the Greek storm. Nothing for the nothing the stays just right. Another language and you could be poet. Left it over the head and after the feeling the dancing and who knows it too. It's my turn. You can't remind me of what name it is. For the love that painted the heaven, for the speaking of heaven, the faith that don't love me, into the assistance for the smile won't. Every time I wonder, a vision that you reside, give you space to flee, as that's what his fate may be. Go, be free. Mournful songs of forest and harmonies of the elder flow. This is all with the pledge of the river, the daughters of forest, the direction the hidden water flow. What below? In the pillar for the to the left and flash. Broken down for the stag and the bull for the dam for the 25. You're all spared for why you have with the great and mother to shed her skin. Merged with the understood in you, but your wish to rule will have to conjure. When it ends, it's not for me to stay. For don't you know, I will go.
what if you are? What if what you're seeking is what you already are? Then all that striving is not only unnecessary, it's actually counterproductive. I'm reminded of a story about a Zen master who was asked by his disciple, "How long will it take me to reach enlightenment if I practice very hard?" The master replied, 10 years. The disciple then asked, "And if I practice twice as hard?" The master said, 20 years. "And if I practice day and night with all my might?" asked the confused disciple. 30 years, replied the master. Do you see the point? The harder you try, the further away it gets, because the very trying implies that it's not already here. This doesn't mean, by the way, that we should all just become lazy and stop doing anything. That would be falling into the opposite error. What it means is that we need to understand the nature of effort differently, not as a means to get somewhere, but as an expression of where we already are. Think of it like dancing. When you dance, you're not trying to get anywhere. You're not improving yourself. You're simply expressing the joy of being alive in this moment. That's what spiritual practice really is. Not a ladder to climb to some future heaven, but a dance that celebrates the heaven that's already here. Let's explore another fascinating dimension of this illusion, our concept of time. You see, the whole idea that we need to seek, to progress, to evolve spiritually, is based on a certain view of time. A view that sees time as a line stretching from past to future, with the present as just a fleeting moment between them. And in this view, we're always on our way somewhere. We're never quite there. We're perpetually in transit, always becoming, never being. One day, we tell ourselves, one day I'll arrive, one day I'll be enlightened, fulfilled, complete. But that day never comes, does it? Because it's always in the future, and the future never arrives. It's rather like trying to catch up with the horizon. The faster you move toward it, the faster it recedes from you. This is what I call the trap of time. And it's perhaps the most subtle and pervasive illusion of all. Because we don't see it as an illusion, we see it as reality itself. But what if time, as we normally conceive it, is itself an illusion? What if, as the mystics have always insisted, there is only the eternal now? What if past and future are just mental constructs, useful for practical purposes, but ultimately not real? You see, we think of ourselves as beings in time, moving from past to future. But what if we're actually beings of time? 0. 5. What if consciousness itself is what creates the experience of time? Consider this. You can only ever experience the present moment. You can remember the past, but that remembering happens now. You can anticipate the future, but that anticipation happens now. All experience, all life, all reality can only ever be now. And if that's the case, then the whole idea of spiritual progress, of gradually moving from an unenlightened state to an enlightened one over time, is based on a fundamental misunderstanding. Because if there is only now, then whatever realization or awakening you're seeking can only happen now. Not after years of practice, not after reading all the books, not after finding the perfect teacher, but now. Either now or never. And this is precisely what the great spiritual traditions have always pointed to. When Jesus said, "The kingdom of heaven is at hand," he didn't mean it's coming soon. He meant it's here, now, within reach. When the Zen masters speak of sudden enlightenment, they're pointing to the fact that awakening can only be sudden because it can only happen now. Now, let's consider what we mean by understanding, because there's a world of difference between intellectual knowledge and true understanding. And this difference is at the heart of our dilemma. You see, we've become a civilization obsessed with information, with facts, with knowledge. We accumulate books, we attend lectures, we gather certificates and degrees. We think that if we just learn enough, read enough, study enough, we'll finally understand. But understanding, real understanding, isn't a matter of accumulation at all.
You were like that dream, I suppose. Not to know what is funny to piece the place of this person and what happened. We're too fly enough to fly to soar high, the music in your mind for the reaching the stars. Eyes glazed, floating in the words of distant echoes and inebriated for the stumbling through the drunk. The pits intoxicated for the red eyes that I haven't wasted enough too much of this to find what's too good for the all inhibitions of this to be the comfort zone to fly. Sicker situation for the girl that you can make love with the man for the cross that globe, you find the curve go. What's worth for the mystery of the love and the man for the seeds of the moment, for the two celebrate the this imperfection, for the turners of the memory, for the nothing can compare. Hold the comfort for the lump and the rest of this total tire. Sounds like it apologizing for the existence of this foreign. Beginning to be ugly for the voice that suddenly made me realize it was wanted to ask you for the hours to tickle this line, a dead title. Sweet taste flowing through the way you used to look at me, for the taking the idea for the care in some ways, but playing the emotions. Check yourself, could be considered for the casualty of war, collateral for the alliteration, for the what you find. Dark timid for the obsidian, for the feline eyes that seem to be opened up and decided you for one day. The rain of the butterflies that felt the droplet of water hitting the delicate wings of the wind, built up around me for the bloom in the air. Here, it wasn't here before for what the dialogue is, and for the wings heavier for the wanting to plunge me into the pivoting towards the earth, or destroying the beauty for the what you can find safe place for the shelter in hand, or land. Her wings do not resemble the tattered place of black ice. It's fine failing and helplessly for the within the wind, or heavy enough to lift anymore for the echo will be the nature. Filling yourself with the calm, for this to be the rain, the storm, for the wants to destroy me, for the taking the colors and the whispering you over the wind-lit droplets. Single day of the sunshine shine through, for this enough to be the date. Dry the wings on for the never to find the land safely. Protect the colors and the live for the fly another day. And I think, add to the hour, for the space that I might vanish without a sound. Shadows bend differently around me for the wonder to wonder for the if anybody noticing this side of your shadow hollow, the bee loves beating heart. Slip through the smoke and the trying the edges, for the folding of myself carefully for the net yourself disappearing to the echo the loudly. So, everything still within me for the sound of your poem. With a chain, the scene, like a ghost in the rain for the soul show, where you cannot understand for the warning, spoke, not a cruel joke for tailored around the dangling for the beautiful enough that you could be studied. Ritual. With it holding perfectly given your matters and adorning yourself forever. Intrusive midnight thoughts that this would be the scenarios over the head, just me for the head for the prayer. See the soak still finds this she is in the hours.